Welcome back to the 4 Mile Circus. It's episode 10 of Play the Game. It's where I go and get games from itch, play them, record them, show them to you guys. I hope you go play them. I have taken a couple of weeks to release this video because of a few problems, so maybe some of these games have been updated since I've recorded these videos, but anyway, here we go. We're going to start with Lingering Sun by Liascarp Soft. Explore, evolve, escape are the 3 words on the description that sort of stick out, and it is a game where you are lost in a bizarre world and you must find new gear and search for a way out. You have to engage strange creatures and amass weapons and so on and so on and so on. It's huge. Let me say that much from the very start. It is a huge game. It's got a hand-drawn art style, which I really like, and as I said, you have to go progress in this world, finding weapons. Well, this rabid wolf, watching the thrashing. Ha ha! And you can find weapons, and these then, due to the level design, let you access new areas. So in this instance, I've picked up an ice pick, I think it is, and that allows me to go to areas where I couldn't get to before. Very clever level design, and that happens throughout the game. I've found areas within the game. Oh, take that, Lupus! Yeah, sorry, there are areas that you have to explode rocks to get them out of the way, so I haven't got an explosive yet. So you can see how you unlock the game by progressing further. That was just the intro part that I showed you, and you have this sort of free-falling part, this experience here, where you free-fall into the start of the game. Very cool. The bad guys are all very different. Again, hand-drawn, they've got this... I really like them. Oh, yeah, look, he's broken down, and there's quite a good variety. There's a lot of varieties of deaths and methods of being killed. This is your inventory. You can only access inventory when you go into one of those pods that you just saw me go inside. In the inventory, you can then change your weapon setup, change which keys you're using, which weapons, so you can pick weapons that more suit what you're up to, which is quite an interesting idea. But you can only do that when you hit those pods. Those pods form the sort of save points of the game. There's other biomes. This is a jungle biome. As you can see, they've introduced these sort of vines here that break as you walk on them. So there's, already, I've only played it for about 2 hours, so I've had 2 or 3 different biomes within it. I really enjoyed the game. It's really tight. The collision detection's good. Don't let the hand-drawn style fool you. There's a level boss. This is one of the first bosses. It's like some sort of Triffid style thing. Then I'm going to give it what for. I found this guy really hard, to be honest. It took me quite a few attempts to get past him. I love the combat styles. So he does like a tiger uppercut, if anyone plays Street Fighter. Oh, just getting bossed around here by things. And all the weapons have different attacks, whether you're standing, jumping, moving. They all look at that. Tiger uppercutted him to death. Killing the end boss opens up a new end of the a new part of the map, particularly the shop area, with a gambler and a very strange skeleton and a parrot. There you go. I don't know. As I say, there's other parts of the game. Killing the boss increased my jump height. Again, clever level design. The jump height now is much higher. I can access parts of the map I couldn't before, and into this new level, which is very abstract, sort of very interesting art style to this. Yeah, I've utilised a knife now. I'm using a knife in one of my keys. But as you can see, very, very different style of art. I've got these sort of exploding heads that bounce about. You have to punch them to death. Pretty cool. And these guys, I really like this hand-drawn styling of it. It gives it a real character. It gives it a real sort of flavour. Take that. And this is just finally to show you, this is the map as it stands. As you can see, it's huge. There's so much going on. I really recommend you play it. Get over to Twitch, download it. It's a very big game. Go and have a bit of fun with it. Next up, it's Irrational Karate. This is a game that was developed for BitGem's 9th Game Jam by the Never Rest studio, and it's a fighting game. It looks pretty cute fighting game. It sort of seems to work around point karate. The object of the game, obviously, is to defeat your opponent, and you do this using kicks, light and heavy attacks. And it's sort of a one. If you do one clear hit, you sort of knock the opponent down, which is why I say it's sort of like point karate, which I quite like. I sort of perfecting these 1-inch punches. Watch. Come on. Ha-da! Yeah, I quite found it. I enjoyed it. What I would like, I suppose, is the ability to hit them a few more times, they're over before you get a chance to really put a good thrashing on them. But I love the style. It's sort of like Drunken Masterers, isn't it? They're staggering a little bit, and they're a bit unsteady on their feet, and I really like it. And so I've brought in Chun-Li's style here, and the whirlwind kick and the whirlwind punch. But the enemies are quite clever. They back off. They don't allow you to just sort of rush them. So I quite like it. It's quite good AI, and it's a good bit of fun. The game designers have said that they're going to continue to develop the game, so it'd be interesting to see what more's to come from this. I'd certainly like to play it with a friend. That would be good fun, and I'd maybe like to see some more moves. But I think it won the game jam that it went in for. So congratulations on a very cool game. Ooh! So there you have it. It's called Irrational Karate. It's available for free on itch. It's free for download. There's no ads, nothing like that. And you should get yourselves over there and play it. Become a goddamn master like I am. Next game up is a lot of fun. It's called The Forest Below. It's a capstone project developed by the students at Utah University, and it involves intense tree action, so prepare yourselves. All the action takes place in this beautifully hand-drawn world, and you are charged with using your natural ability to control tree roots to help navigate us through various worlds to create new homes for fairykind. Now, I really enjoyed this game. Very, very peaceful. I love the folk music that is going along with it, and they two seem to gel perfectly. It reminds me of I can't remember the artist's name, but he made the music for Bagpuss, which was a program I used to watch as a kid. As you can see, we are in charge of roots, which is an important job in the fairy world. We are charged with directing the route to reserves of water underground, and that will then allow the tree on the surface to grow. And there you can see the water being collected and travelling up the route to the tree above, which is giving me a victory. Yay, love that animation. Each map is different. This one, for example, has a lot of stones, and you can power up your roots by passing through one of those orange blocks first. And as you can see, look, the powered up route will break through stone to get to water. So you have to sort of start bearing these things in mind when planning out where and what direction your route's going to follow. Each world is different. This one has these sort of subterranean monsters. I don't know exactly what they are, but they'll happily chomp on your route as it passes them and cut the route off, which is something to bear in mind. But as you can see, it's a lovely little game. It's beautifully drawn, and there's a lot of care and detail gone into how it looks. Here you can see a more complex route change. You can take routes off existing routes. You can sort of branch out and go in new directions, and you can also leave those routes to find their own way. You can sort of point them in the general direction and watch them go. And as I said, there's a number of different worlds, and they're all populated differently. So it's got some longevity. There's lots of fun to be had. So there it is. It's called Forest Below, and it's available to download on itch. There will be a description and a link to it in the information below, but go and get it, go and have a go. Next up is Jack Fat. I'm struggling to know what to say about Jack Fat. It's by Batnose. It's a beat 'em up. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up, and it is magnificent. You start as Jack Fat. When Jack's back, everyone says "Fuck!" And here's this character here, a samurai sword-wielding lunatic. It's got all these 70s feels to it. It sort of looks like an 80s beat 'em up game, The music sounds like it's done by Comtrues or one of those guys, and it's a masterpiece of style, possibly over form. I don't know. It's a good game as well, but the styling of it is magnificent. As you can see, Jack's got a range of attacks. I just used a wolf attack. There it is again, which is a lovely style. Look at that wolf attack, which can send you across the screen flying, but otherwise you're using your samurai sword to slice and dice and block, as you can see there. Gotta watch out for falling police cars. Oosh. But the little animations when you chop people up. Watch this guy. Let's see. You sort of cut them in half. Oh, look at that. Just split neatly in half. And it is lovely. A lovely little bit of detail in the game. There's little touches like that that turn a game into a sort of classic. So Jack's mission, I don't know what it is. It's just to go from left to right and kill as many of these bad boys as possible. And I'd definitely like to see much more of this game. It has a stabbed to death. But there you go. I love this little animation at the start as well. There's so much to like about this game, from the pixel art style to the look at the little guy in the tree throwing up on us, to the animations of all the bad guys, all the good guys, to just the dressing of the areas. Look at the little, I don't know what that is. That's like a skull in a cage. I particularly like Jack's portrait bottom left, that becomes more and more beaten up as you take more damage, which is a lovely idea. Oh, wolf attack! Look, it split him in half. So yeah, from the ground up, it's fantastic. From the music to the level design to the combat and the animations for that, the pixel art. There's so much squeezed into it. It's juicy. It's short but sweet. Once again, then, it's called Jack Fack. It's by Batnose, I believe, and it's pixel art madness, and available for free on itch. There's a link in the description below, so click on it and go play it. Next up, it's the top-down shooter robotic Specimen Collector, and this was made for the weekly game jam number 34 by Mendelate. I believe Mendelate is the name. So as I say, it's a top-down shooter. I've really enjoyed it. Commencing. So here we are again in the wonderful world of pixels. I just goddamn love a pixel, and the quest in this game is to kill these aliens and collect them. So as you can see, I'm sort of hitting them, and it stuns them, and then come back to life. First off, I just want to talk about the shoulder cannon. I love a game with a shoulder cannon. Look at the gorgeous shoulder cannon. It can also fire rockets, which is a plus. I don't think you can upgrade it, but that, as you could imagine, if this game went any further, you would possibly be able to upgrade that bad boy. I really like it. The level design is sort of futuristic, and it's pretty simple, but it's a game jam, so these things are done quickly. But it's really effective, and there's destructible elements within the map also. So you have these red barrels that you can blow up. You also have some sort of white boxes that you can shoot, and those release power-ups. They're either health or shields. The aliens also level up. They red ones start popping up. I think we start seeing them now, and they're far more aggressive. They sort of run directly at you, and you have to be a bit more tricky. I really liked it. It's quite good fun. It's really well made, and I do love a top-down shooter. And again, it was made for a game jam, so you can imagine the speed and the intensity under which this was made. So I'd love to see more of it. And it would be great played if it was compatible with a Xbox joypad or some such. But there you have it. It's called Robot Specimen Collector, and it's by Mendelate. I hope I haven't mispronounced that. Again, it was made for the, let me check the game jam, it was made for just the weekly game jam number 34. So again, and it's free on itch, there's a link in the description below. Go and play it. Go on, you mad fools, fly. Next game up is Unsafe Chapter 2, and this is by Sylvester Hansen. And you play, I'm going to read the description, you play as a young man who finds himself trapped at school after a car crash. You have to find out what happened and how you get out of this hellish nightmare. This game was developed over a course of 5 days, and I think it describes itself as a horror or psychological sort of drama game. And it explores the sort of world of image and possibly of high school bullying. It sort of transpires that this character is recovering from a car crash, in fact, and is not actually here, but is reliving experiences. And you learn this as the game progresses. I don't want to say too much, we go play it. But straight away, first thing that you're struck by is the style of it. I mean, I believe it was made in Unity, but I haven't seen anything that looks quite like this. I thought it was stunning, a stunning game. And as you play through it, you start uncovering more and more. I mean, like this scene here, more and more clues into what's troubling this young individual. And in this case, I think it's matters of sexuality and not being accepted by the family. But you sort of work this out. There are puzzles to sort. So whilst it's a game that obviously is trying to get a message across, oh, what's this? Oh, what a heartwarming message from Dad. No child of mine is going to be a goddamn fudge packer. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dad. Look forward to Christmas. Yeah, but whilst it's telling you this story, there's a good game inside of it. There's these sort of visual clues about you have to find passwords, code them in. There's some obvious help there. And these will help you progress into areas that you couldn't get into before. There's a library, and there's other clues. What's this? Pastor went off today. I missed that. You can see, it's a very sad place that this individual is in at the moment. So I would recommend you go play it. It's called Unsafe Chapter 2. I don't think I'd call it Chapter 1. Unsafe Chapter 2. It's by Sylvester Hansen, and it's available for free on itch. A link will be in my game description below. Next up, it's the wonderfully weird Stranded Near Nowhere. Now again, this was released almost 3 weeks ago on itch, and I did the video then, but for reasons out of my control, I haven't been able to get it all together until now. So this has been well reviewed, people know all about it, but I'm going to do it anyway. So here it is. I loved this. I loved it. So it starts with your car breaking down, as you just heard. What is that? It looks like a very, very fast muscle car. So your car breaks down in the middle of the desert, and there's only that. Your car breaks down. Go explore the nearby mysterious town and try and escape. So there's so many things about it. Straight away, the lighting style. Now, I've seen some good and bad comments about it. I loved this. I loved it. It made the whole thing, unless you're sort of looking at something, it doesn't really get that well lit, and I like that. You feel like it's all wrapped around you. There's a fog that if you wander into will damage you quite rapidly. There's a nearby road with cars that flash up and down. That you just see the flash of their headlights, and they can kill you. So it's quite an exciting environment. And what you've got to do is explore and find the town, which was no easy task, let me tell you that much, and find some coolant for your car. I'm coming up to like a casino here, or it's a hotel. Sorry, I can't. It's a hotel, I believe. But there's a car. There goes a car. Oh, there goes a car. And so look, it's beautiful. It's really well made. I loved it. It's sort of like a mystery game, I suppose. There's various clues around. Like, here you go. That tell you, so that's the Bradford Hotel, that is. The old airfield. But you see the way the lighting works, it's don't quite know what's going on. I really like it. You can venture out, it's quite a sizable map, you can venture out into the nearby area, but it is bracketed by the fog, and that stops you from wandering too far into it. This is the inside of the Bradford, which it seems to be haunted. This I just thought was brilliant. So sort of evocative with the music there. So that's it. It's called Stranded Near Nowhere. It's by J. Potter F. There will be a link in the description below. Go and play it. Last but definitely not least is the Chronicles of K by Eric FM. Eric was very generous enough to send me a link to play this game a few weeks ago, but as I said, I've had trouble recording games for the last couple of weeks, so it's a bit late, and probably plenty of people have played it and you know about it, but here you go anyway. It's a side-scrolling, beat-em-up, pixel art piece of magnificence, and I totally love playing it. It often reminded me, when I was playing it, of Ghosts and Goblins. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the sort of the jump height or the animations, but it really felt like that sort of classic style game. The areas are quite varied. There's lots to it. It's a platformer of sorts, but it's got a good combat element in it. You've got a great shield in it. Never have I had a shield that works so well in a game. It protects you from everything. As long as you've got that bad boy up, nothing gets through, and that is fantastic. Once you get your head around that, the world opens up. It seems to revolve around getting coins, but I'm not sure whether the element of spending those coins is there yet. But I haven't, or maybe I haven't found it. The animation's very slick. I love the character. Totally love the character. I love his shield. I love there's spikes on the floor there. You don't notice those to start with. I love his shield, the way his cape flies. I like these. This was a lot of fun. This took me ages. You terribly nasty developer. It took me ages just to do this bit. It's so frustrating. Luckily, there's a campfire. As you can see, there's just a little campfire there, and that's a sort of starter zone marker. So it puts you at a sort of starting point again, and get my words out. But I had a lot of fun playing this. Jump, you fool! I had a lot of fun playing this. I managed to make it through the first level. Look at that! Look at that stone. Look, it makes me stop and look at it. Look at that head front. It's a lovely piece of artwork, that is, isn't it? And yeah, to the artwork, the style is delicious. It's beautiful. I mean, there. Look at that. Look at that. It's delicious. The beautiful world of pixels, and believe it or not, there's even an emboss in this first level. And here we go. I think I've left most of this video incomplete. I discovered eventually that you had to take that pink ball out first, and that sort of downs his shields. And then it comes down to slugging it out. Mano, I mean, look at the boss. Look at the boss. I like his sort of cyclopean monster. But check out the shield. Nothing gets past it. So I mean, my technique was might not have been the slickest technique. I'll admit that much. But it involved just standing there with the shield, taking everything you could throw at me, and getting enough distance to give him a hammering with the sword. Yeah, it goes into this sort of supernova mode. And this took me a few attempts, to be honest. I didn't rely so heavily on the shield to start with, and I tried to be a bit more in and out, up and down, using the jump, but that didn't work. And there you go, you get a beautiful gold chest with loads of coins popping out. And that's just the first level. So you go through this gate there, this sort of like vortex, and you end up in the next world, which I started exploring, and again, a new environment, new baddies. There's skeletons that fire sort of bolts at you, and there's a sort of underground area where you sort of go down into these tunnels. I really liked it. So there you go. There's a skeleton. So hit the link below. It's Chronicles of K by Eric FM, and give it a go yourself. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Okay, that's the end of episode 10. Again, I apologise for the lateness of some of these videos. They're sort of 3 weeks behind release date, so they're not that current, admittedly. But I hope you enjoyed them anyway. Again, I hope you go and download them and play them and give the guys some feedback and, you know, some attention for all their efforts. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, hit the like button, or even better, subscribe. Take care of yourselves.